crashed the other recording, so I'm just gonna continue recording until whatever. I completed the quest, so I don't have to worry about it. Now I just need to worry about this yellow car and this gun, which I should be able to get from the weapon crates. Yeah, I'll probably get one from the weapon crate, knowing me, when in 18 minutes when I open it. 17 EXP books. Did I leave anything here? No, good. I know doing quests is a good way to get experience, but I'm gonna wait. I don't need to do that right now. Is that a safe haven? Oh no, that's where the thing is. Why is it telling me to go over here? Way over here. What is over here? Back in Kev. Okay, that's where it's telling me to go. Over here. I need a flashlight. Are you serious? Can I make the flashlight? Do I have the materials to make it? No, I don't. Does the trader sell the flashlight? Do you sell the flashlight I need? You do. Thanks. Effect is over, not that I'm gonna need it. Yeah, I should be fine. Start a quest. Dachshund investigator Gavrilov was just about the only building left standing in the burned suburb village south of Bainesk. The generous side of the plot, over half an acre, meant that the fire didn't reach the house itself. The garden gate was hanging only on one hinge, and most of the fence around it was in pieces on the ground. The gate opened to a freshly trampled path leading to the house, and the path was littered with even fresher cigarette ends. The house was inhabited, but not necessarily by Gavrilov and his family. Reached the doctor without being noticed. First, I needed to check the whole place out without giving myself away. Gripping my knife and gun, I walked onto the property. Loose gooseberry bushes grew along the path, and I decided to do my recon from there. Moving aside the branches with their needle-sharp thorns, I crawled right into the center of the bush. Darn it, those damn thorns were pricking me through my clothes. I was about to go looking for a new vantage point when 3 men emerged from the house. Huge bear of a man around 2 meters tall dragged a 20-something girl out onto the porch. Her face was covered in cuts and scratches. Some kind of rag was stuffed into her mouth, and her hands were tied with cord. The giant took hold of the cord and began to pull the girl around back. A young guy with a pimpled, hideously ugly face limped after them, wearing a huge oversized jacket over his naked body. Followed them. Behind the ramshackle outhouse was a small barn. That's where the giant put the girl. Pimples tried to creep in after, but the big man grabbed the back of his jacket and pulled him aside. Where do you think you're going? Cossack didn't give his say-so. Tema, come on, man. I just wanted to have a conversation, Pimples whined. Cossack didn't give his say-so, the giant repeated, locking the door. He wants her for himself. Keep going. Waited a little while and then walked around the house's perimeter. I managed to glean some information by looking through the windows. There were only 3 rooms in the house, a bedroom, a combined living and dining room, and a kitchen. You could only get to the bedroom through the living room, but the window in the kitchen and the bedroom were open, and they were big enough for a person to climb through. The living room window was locked from the inside, and the window in the hallway was tiny. Keep going. I counted 4 occupants. Judging by their elaborate tattoos, I concluded that all 4 were ex-convicts. They probably met in prison. The bandits were armed with revolvers and AKs, and they looked like they could just handle themselves in a fight. Dangerous scum. Where could Gavrilov have gone? I need to search the house, but I can't while there are bandits here. I also recalled the roughed-up girl who the Cossack was keeping for himself. I'd like to help her too, but the key to the barn was being held by one of the scumbags. I'll have to deal with the bandits, but there are 4 of them. I guess I have no choice. I guess I would have no chance in a fight. But who said that a direct approach was the only option? I have a few key advantages. I know about my opponents, but they know nothing about me. They may be stronger than me, but I have stealth and surprise on my side. Some good luck wouldn't hurt, though. Get to work. I'm outside. There's nobody around. I can't be seen from any of the windows. Observe the house from outside. The house has a hallway and 3 rooms, a kitchen, a living room, a bedroom. From the hallway, you can go outside or continue on to the kitchen and living room. You have to go through the living room to get to the bedroom. There are open windows in the kitchen and the bedroom. The kitchen has a cellar. Besides the house, the property also includes an outhouse and a barn. Can't be seen from any of the windows. Let's look in the living room window. There are 2 people in the living room, Tema the giant and a bald, nerdy-looking guy called Ivan. Tema is sitting on the threadbare couch. He disassembled an assault rifle and now he's cleaning the piston and the gas tube with cloth. His AK is sitting beside him, which means that he's cleaning somebody else's gun. Ivan is playing solitaire on the table. Most of the table is covered with newspapers, and on top of those are food scraps, empty glasses and jars, dirty knives and forks, ashtray, and a huge coal samovar. Let's look into the kitchen window. The cellar door is open in the kitchen. It's unclear what Pimples is doing down there. At the long countertop, the Cossack is singing something under his breath. He's got 2 revolvers tucked into his belt. On the counter, there are 6 open cans of condensed milk in 2 enamel bowls, one of which is full dry bread. Along the opposite wall, there's a dirty Minsk fridge, a sink with a pile of dishes in it, and a gas stove with some kind of grain scattered over it. Go to the door, main door into the hallway. I'm in the hallway. The light is borrowed here. Embers are smoldering in the stove. There's a coat rack on the opposite side and an old-fashioned console table with a mirror. The door to the living room is shut tight. I can't hear anything coming from there. The door to the kitchen is missing entirely, and through the opening, I can see the open door to the cellar and Cossack's shoulder. If he turns this way, he'll see me. Can I search the hallway? Okay. Didn't even make it 3 steps before the floorboards creaked in protest. I looked into the kitchen and saw the calm and somewhat indifferent face of the Cossack. He picked up the revolver and fired at me. It missed me by an inch. Less than 5 seconds after the bang, Pimples raced up from the cellar and 2 others came running out of the living room. Okay, I guess that. I wanted to see what the other options were, but apparently I picked the wrong option. We're under attack. Yeah, clearly. You're dead. Oh, not enough action points. Yeah, good job missing the bird. 52 damage, that's nothing. 54 damage, you're also nothing. Goodbye, buddy. Goodbye, buddy. Can't hit you from there. Wait until you move closer. Good job. And now you're cooked. Bye, buddy. There you go. So XP, thanks. Search every inside house, trying to find any clues, but I turned up nothing. Where could the investigator have gone? If the dacha had been abandoned, I probably would have found something here, but the uninvited guests have managed to put their stamp on the place. I better free the prisoner. I took the key from Tema's body and headed for the barn. Assault rifle, AK-47. Handgun revolver. Okay. There was no light sources in the barn apart from the solitary shafts of sunlight coming through the holes of the roof. The floorboards creaked in protest as I tread on them. The prisoner sat cowering in the same dark corner, freer. At first the girl glared at me with hatred, but then her expression changed. Hey, I don't remember you. You're not one of them. No, I'm not one of them, and they are gone now. I killed them. Get up, we need to get you out of here. Can you walk on your own? You killed them. Her mouth fell open in amazement. On your own, against them all? No way. How did you do it? I'm Varya, by the way. Good to meet you, Varya. I'll tell you everything on the way, so can you walk on your own? Varya took an uncertain step and staggered. She grabbed onto the wall. Sorry, my legs aren't cooperating. What do we do? Could you carry me only for a little while until my legs are back to normal? You really can't walk on your own. See for yourself. Lift Varya into your arms and carry her out of the barn. As I walked through the forest, Varya recounted her trials and tribulations at the hands of the bandits. Then she moved on to the tale of her heinous kidnapping. And then she told me in detail about the awfulness of her aunt. who she lived with in a village outside Byron-esque. I barely listened. I was too absorbed in my own thoughts. Sorry, what did you say? I said that she's just jealous of me. No, before that. There was a village of survivors outside Byron-esque. Can you show me the way? Sure, but you know what I just thought? I don't want to go back to my aunt. Maybe I can travel with you. With me. I confess that I almost dropped Varya in shock. Yeah, and what? You're strong, brave, you can protect me. You risked your life to save me. Now I have to pay you back. What am I going to do with my aunts? I'll be bored out of my mind. Let's do it this way. I'll take you back to your aunt and I'll go away for a little while. You'll have the chance to think about how you want to thank me, alright? Back to my aunt. Fine. Hey, can you teach me how to shoot? Gently but confirmly end the conversation. It's wounded. It's hungry. Oh, yeah, because it didn't get hit. Okay. Apparently you're satisfied. There you go, buddy. Let's see. It goes without saying I have no plans to go back for Varya. I'll take her to her aunt, ask the locals about Gavrilov, and get out of there. A strange detail distracted me from my thoughts. The grass next to where I left my things was trampled. I told Varya to wait there for me, and I tried to see where the uninvited visitor could have come from. I didn't have to go far. There were tracks in the wet earth beyond the grass, and I'd seen those tracks before at the Institute of Virology, like wolf tracks, but too big to be a wolf. A blind black wolf. We need to get out of here fast. Oh God, I was expecting it to fight us on the way back. Truth updated. After dropping off Varya with her aunt, who turned out to be a perfectly friendly and kind woman, I started asking about the investigator Gavrilov. It so happened that he was well known around those parts. At the height of the epidemic, Pavel Gavrilov and his wife abandoned their holdings and went to Kiev. They probably flee to Poland while the borders were still open. Can I speak to you? Do you have anything? What do you need? Searching for truth. Bored and nothing to do. Well, I don't want to do anything, I guess. Hey, what caliber cartridges do you have? Big ones like my uncle, or are they smaller? You really want to learn how to shoot a gun. I gotta go around because of the water. Is that bridge repaired? Looking at the map tells you absolutely nothing. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue on. That's all the effects. Not that I would need them. Straight shot there. Good. Not have to worry about rivers or anything. The real question is, do I have to search Kev? That's the question. It probably might make me search Kev. What's the next thing? I need this. Search looking for the weapon box. I need to be on the lookout for a yellow car. And I also need to be level 50. I don't do yet. Okay. Who do I need to speak? What? Huh? I have to go search Kev, don't I? I do. Okay. Yep. Let's get to searching. How big is it? Well, at least there's a military base. Oh, it's right there. Okay, searching for truth test updated. Just like Moscow, Kev had been hit hard during the bombings. Dozens of buildings were reduced to piles of brick and concrete, and every 10 minutes or so I came across another scorched wasteland. Suddenly I heard the sound of explosion in the distance. I couldn't believe it. What could be detonating after all these years? I ran towards the center of the city. Well, the center of the city is gonna have to wait. I need to reactivate all the effects. Is that a... It doesn't matter, I already completed the quest. Not gonna worry about any uniforms or anything. I just need the machine gun, the yellow car. Is a box ready to be opened? It is. What am I gonna get? Can I just get this right off rip? Of course you give me the other one. Is it better than the DP-27? That is the question. Oh, that's the one I'm using. Thanks. Oh, that'll leave me from being able to not repair my weapons. I need a yellow car. Can I get a yellow car? I'll have to spend the time doing quests to level up to level 50. Food and water. Gas mask filter's probably at 2. No, that's 3. Why is it lagging so hard? There we go. Yeah, I'll save the military base. I just need to avoid the quest thing. This, I probably should just use the energy. I know the military base is going to have a lot of weapons and EXP books and stuff. Gas mask is out of power. Goody. Oh, I don't need to worry about that gas mask, and I can actually open more things. I'll open all the safes first. What was that box? Assault rifle box? I don't care. Okay, that's a shotgun box. This is a LMG box, and this is a sniper box. So I think I'm using the Sniper's Mosin. Yeah, Sniper's Mosin. I do want a better sniper. But knowing my luck, I won't actually be able to get it from any of these. Because I do want this purple shotgun. I want this. And then this. I guess I gotta wait for one of them to open. I'll open the LMG one first. Knowing my luck, I'll get trash. I'll have to look at the odds on getting higher tier weaponry. I don't know if there is like a percent chance or something. And it'll definitely be something I'll look into. Safe. Another dude? No. I'll fight you. I guess. Final Volcom, my husband's in there. Delirium tremors hit him after a bender, so he ran from the settlement. We used to live here before the war. Go easy on him. Here, take this. Oh, it's this guy. How about a drink? There you go. I'm gonna drink. Goodbye, leave. Thanks. Great. Gets rid of that. Oh, there's a fly in here. That cat's going after it. It'll get it eventually. That's why I don't like having my door open. Intoxication's over. Good. Go away. Another EXP book. Good. I need more of those. I need all of them. Just using energy. Break this. That was all the effects. Have a yellow car. No. I know yellow car. Military base time. Really, I got another crate I just opened from a skeleton. Dude. Gas mask is out of power, which means I get +6 radiation. Bruh. Not anymore? Oh, I'm actually increasing radiation? Okay. Go away, radiation. Oh, okay. That's not the center of the city, but okay. A sharp and pleasant noise came from somewhere above my head. I looked up and saw a bent tin strip sticking out from under the roof edge. The gust of wind had bent it, but it straightened out and began to rattle shrilly. The sound reminded me of something. It is dark beyond the window, and the snow is howling past, but there's one other sound, a sharp, screeching noise that feels like it's piercing my skull. Some kind of metal garbage is blaring out from our neighbors. Galia comes slowly into the kitchen. She looks much older than in my last memory. She looks like she's been crying. She stands and stares at me in silence. I turn away and fish out another cigarette. What do you want? I ask her quietly. Sasha is sleeping in the next room. I want to talk, Galia replies, just as quietly. You've already said everything there is to say. You're very elegant. What else is there to add? Galia rushes to the table and takes my hand between her palms. Darling, forgive me. Forgive me for all the horrible things I said. I was wrong. I'm no good. But I promise I won't be like this anymore. When you didn't come home again last night, I just went crazy. I know how hard things are for you, how hard you have to work. I know you're unhappy and you wanted other things. Tell me what to do, how to help you. I love you. I'll do anything for you. Just tell me what you need. I look into her eyes. I see the pain and compassion there, but what does she see in mine? Fear and despair. I'm going to look for them, Galia and Sasha, and if they're alive, I'll find them. I just need to remember something else, even just the name of a town. Continue searching. Oh, police department, okay. Yellow car, thank you. Wait, does it need to be not damaged? No, I think I just need I think it has to be disassembled or to work. Got one car battery at least. Thanks. I can't. You're telling me I can't pick it up? No. Is it because it weighs too much? Is that why? Does it have to be damaged? I can pick up the motorcycle, but not the car. What? No. Are you serious? Really? Go away, motorcycle. That's a buzzkill. Can I pick up a car if it's damaged? No, I can't. It's probably because I don't have the carry weight to pick up the car. Okay. It's only 1,000 pounds. Are you serious? I can pick up the motorcycle, but not a car. That's okay. Okay. That's a buzzkill. I think I just have to, I'm pretty sure I just have to make the car myself. Okay, so I just have to be near it for it to work, right? I need one car battery and one gasoline engine. And I need 12 power. Let me just add some more fuel in here. How am I going to get... There has to be a way I can pick up a car. I can pick up the other cars, but not that one. Wow. That's a straight buzzkill right there. Can't even pick it up if it's damaged either. It sucks. I know when I get here, it'll probably be another one of those quest thingies. Bandit-base, attack, auto battle, confirm. Oh, new level, thanks. What perk do I want? Assault rifle range -1, assault rifle damage plus 25. No. Walking speed, no. Armor durability, no. Damage to mutants, I don't need that. Transport carrying capacity plus 5%. Nope. Search speed in cities. It's great to use dual pistols. I'll see what other pistol damage, quality fish 68, no. Rifle damage, no. Pistol range, no. Damage to people, no. Walking capacity, no. Yeah, I'll just have to find the veteran looter again. Trickster. I don't need that, not yet. Nobody leaves 3. I'll wait on that. I'll get the veteran looter. Since I am in a town, you get an extra chance to survive in battle. Not that I need that. That's if you die. And I've only died once. And it was because of that mutated fusion bear up near Chernobyl. Okay, that's so weird. That I can pick up the motorcycle, but not the car. Okay. I'll try dropping off everything and then coming. Actually, where was that car at? I need to mark it. I'll try dropping off everything and then see if I can actually pick up the car. And for yellow, because I do need a yellow car. Ugh. What? That's okay. Game's just being weird. Another yellow car in here? Nope. Okay. What do you got? Start raid. Auto battle. What was updated? It says there's something updated in the quest log. What was updated? Oh, just this. Okay. Let's inside. Pharmacy attack. Battle. Confirm. Goodbye, buddy. Search. This filter's gonna be at 0 after this. I'll see how good the search speed is without the thing. Yeah, I don't even know if it's faster. It doesn't look like it's faster at all. So I don't even notice the difference. What? Dude. Why are you gonna do that? Oh, it's my other thumb that's clicking the button, isn't it? Go away, radiation. Right. Final battle confirm. What's that energy? It's a little bit something set on the ground. A man standing nearby smoking. I think they cut in there before in one of the settlements. I talking about the settlement. Need help. The settlement know about this. Miss all the issue or start getting rude. Do what you like. A private conversation. What? Oh, oops, forgot the skeleton. Okay, just these main buildings left. Another car battery? No? Okay. These spellings. Yeah, I'll search those first. Yes, man, cause dude, I didn't click on the camp, bro. That's annoying. everything. Let's go put an X. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue on another. Oh, no quest thingy. The closer I got to my target, the closer the sound became. Somebody was firing an AK, but who was the shooter and who was the target? At a crossroad, I caught the sight of three fresh corpses. One was a large man of about 50. His body was covered in bite marks, and his arms were just stumps. The second was a black wolf, like those I had encountered before, but a little smaller. Its muzzle and neck had been slashed with a knife. The third wasn't even a body, but pieces of one. Lumps of flesh and black fur were scattered around the intersection, as if a wolf had been blasted apart by plastic explosives or something like it. Then the machine gun started firing up again. The sounds of gunfire led me to the statue of Lysenko, the famous composer. Another wolf lay before it in a huge dark red pool, dying. It was so riddled with bullet wounds that its fur was saturated and matted with blood. A young guy carrying a Kalashnikov jogged up to the wolf, and in some sort of madness, he began shooting the near lifeless body. His companions, two older men, stopped a little way off and waited. Finally, the shooter ran out of ammo. He dropped the gun onto the steps, totally exhausted and swaying. Then he sat down next to it and buried his face in his hands. The men approached him. One laid a hand on the kid's shoulder. Nikito, I understand what you're feeling, but we have to leave. We'll take Kuril home and bury him. Nitika, are you listening to me? We're going right now. We're going home to Giorenichi. It's too dangerous here, and Seva can barely walk. He needs to see a doctor. Keep going. The young man raised his bewildered, bloodshot eyes to the man and jumped up. Suddenly, we're leaving. It's too dangerous. What are you saying, Galarov? We need to continue. There are still some of these monsters out there. We don't have cartridges enough for one or two. Continue. There are only 3 of us left, and we barely survived with 4. You will still be able to avenge your stepfather. You'll get your chance, but not now. We need to go back. The young man seemed to size up Galarov and the second man, then slowly drew a gun and pointed it at them. You're right. You're just cowards. Kuril sacrificed himself so that Wolf wouldn't get you, Galarov. Can't handle the truth? So what we're going to do is go there right now and slaughter them all. The man leans menacingly over the kid. If somebody hadn't grabbed the last gun and chased after the wolf like a moron, Kuril would still be alive. Coughed to get their attention. All 3 of them instantly turned to me. Now all 3 Makarovs were pointing straight at my gut. Hey, who the hell are you? Easy, I'm a friend. Friend, some I don't remember you. What camp are you from? Oh, apparently I have to lie. Okay. What? You came all the way from Moscow? Why should we believe you? I know how to talk a good game, too. How can I prove it? I don't know. I can help you transport the body, guard it against the wolves. Galarov's distrustful eyes swelled over me from head to toe. He shook his head. No, we'll manage on our own. Hold on, don't go. You're Pavel Galarov, the former investigator, right? Where did you hear that? Doesn't matter. I need to discuss something with you about the scientist from the Institute of Virology. Galarov's eyes narrowed. You've piqued my interest. Fine, we'll discuss it. When we come back, Giorenichi, the community center. Fine, we'll talk there. Nikito, you're going back. You can either come with us or kill the wolves on your own. I was already close to solving it. For the first time, I met face with someone directly involved in those events. Of all people, the chief investigator should know everything. I need to get to Giorenichi. Oh, it's back in Kiev? Did it update? Okay. see what you got. Enter, talk, Galarov. What do you need? Searching for truth. Pavel Gavrov was waiting for me in the manager's office of the former community center. There was someone else in the room with him, a man in his 60s, dozing in an armchair by the stove. When Galarov saw me, he filled a glass of water, nudged the old guy awake, and gave him a pill to take. Next. Here he is, make yourself at home, as they say. But first, let me introduce my friend. He also wants to talk to you. Timofey Zaitsev, the former director of the Institute of Virology. Like me, he wanted to leave for Poland, but he didn't make it out in time. I heard the name and felt a spark of excitement. The director of the Institute of Virology. Looks like I'll get some answers to all my questions now. Why so quiet? What did you want to talk to me about? I want to know about the scientists that were executed, about the epidemic that broke out simultaneously across the entire country, and about August 17th, 1984, Day R. The investigator and the director shared a silent look. Zaitsev frowned and was about to speak, but Galarov gestured for him to stay quiet. He came closer to me and examined me from head to toe. Dayar, why do you want to know? Will this knowledge change anything? It was so long ago, after all. Even so, I want to know the truth. The truth, and what will you do with this truth? Drifter with no name? Tell it to everyone? That's my business. All right, he linked his hands behind his back and started walking around the room. And what are you willing to do to learn this truth? Will you risk your life, for example? I've already been through a lot to get here. I've already risked my life. The former investigator chewed on this, shooting me a look from under his brow. Deal. You'll learn the whole truth, but first you have to fulfill your promise. Your promise? What are you talking about? Back in Kiev, you said you would help us deal with the wolves, so do it. Then we'll tell you everything. And what do you want from me? Nothing special. Just take part in the hunt. You probably don't know what happened there. What happened here, do you? No, I don't know. These beasts, the black wolves, appeared in our lands around 3 years ago. A she-wolf and 2 cubs, huge, black as night, and blind. The first 2 years were peaceful, but then all the wild game was gone from the woods. Maybe the wolves caught rabies from somewhere, or it was something else. But either way, they started hunting people. Our guards shot the wolves, but there's no sense. There are more and more of these. A week ago, they even got into a house at night, and not an entire family. I asked to send an armed party, but the chairman believes that we have higher priority tasks, something that are more important than defending the camp. He doesn't even want to hear me. Then I must protect Goronichi from this threat. The thing is that all the wolves we've killed were males. That means if we kill the she-wolf, no new cubs will be born. We can't delay any longer. The she-wolf was hiding in an old slaughterhouse. We're going to attack her there. This is our only chance to exterminate them once and for all. I see, but why don't you just burn the she-wolf along with the slaughterhouse or smoke her out? We've already tried. It's a no-go. So, want to participate? If you help, you'll save many lives, and then we'll tell you everything. If you won't, go find someone else. Is there any other way to convince you? Fine. Excellent. Judging by your gear, you're an experienced fighter, so we'll be better off. We'll better our chances with you on our side. When you're ready to hunt, get ammunition, food, and bandages, and move to the starting point. I'll be waiting there. Got it. When I left the community center, a bloodied black muzzle swam out before my mind's eye. I recalled the previous encounters with black wolves. I'd gotten the better of one once before, but this wolf won't be alone. The animals tended to be more ferocious than usual when protecting their mother. Many people wouldn't be coming back from this hunt. Maybe I wouldn't make it back either. But I didn't feel any fear. It was another feeling entirely. I saw the headless body of a hunter torn to pieces like it was happening all over again, and I couldn't do anything. And I'm getting attacked by chickens. Go away. You are not my main priority. Start quest. Oh, it's a good thing I have a flashlight. The men going on the wolf hunt set up a temporary camp next to the burned-out warehouse off the highway. Thick smoke rose from rusty barrels. The fighters sat on logs around the hot fire and hungrily devoured roasted potatoes and drank water from large tin mugs. One of their comrades sat cross-legged on a rail oilcloth and laid out pieces of freshly fried fish on scraps of newspapers. I noticed Gavril, Gavrilov nearby. He was gesticulating with a half-gnawed chicken bone, regaling the men around him with a tale from his turbulent adolescence. The men laughed, clutching their sides. The hunters were buoyed up, cheerful even, too cheerful. But they couldn't see how small their chances of survival were. They must have simply refused to entertain the possibility. Thank you for the potato. I counted 11 fighters. These were the only people who had decided to help Galarov fight the impending wolves, and it wasn't many people at all. 5 men armed with assault rifles, the others had old sawn-off shotguns or double-barreled shotguns. As I recalled, automatic gunfire was effective against black wolves, but single bullets didn't bother them much. We had to hope that we weren't about to face a large pack. Galarov saw me and stopped his storytelling, beckoning me over. And here's our friend, the one I told you about. The former investigator introduced me to the others. I shook their hands. He's come to us all the way from Trevor, so he's got some fighting experience. He promised to help with the wolves. Have you actually seen the wolves we've got around here? Normal wolves have got nothing on these beasts, said the fighter next to Galarov, looking doubtfully at me. He wasn't a young face, and he had tired, squinting eyes and a heavily lined face. I've seen them before. I killed one in Moscow. 1-on-1, the hunter repeated. The others looked over at me with respect. Impressive. Around here, we scavenge in groups of 12. At least that's just for the she-wolf. Yuri, don't stir things up, the guy next to him said. It's bad enough as it is. We're about to head out, Galarov said to me. If you have any questions, ask them now. Who's leading the squad? I am, and Yuri's helping, Galarov responded. When it comes to wolves, we're the most experienced here, I suppose. Before Kirill was in charge of all operations, Yuri said glumly. He was the Navy Special Forces, Nikita's stepfather, the only one who didn't come back from Kiev. You were there too. Maybe you saw the body, Galarov confirmed. He'd run out of cartridges and couldn't retreat, so he went at the wolf with a knife. I recalled the dead body with the bitten-off hands. The hunters fell silent for a moment, a sign of respect for the dead. Any more questions? Where's the she-wolf hiding? In an old slaughterhouse, 5 kilometers off the highway to Zhytomyr. Wolf cubs were sighted there, Yuri replied. And 3 days ago, all our people out there were killed. The wind hasn't changed in a long time, he added. We're going to approach the slaughterhouse from downwind. If it works and they don't pick up our scent, we'll get there unnoticed. Take out the she-wolf and get the hell out of there. Such an optimist, Yuri, Galarov laughed darkly. These creatures are blind, but they'll sniff us out a mile away. Say what you want, but they'll all come running to defend the mother. What's the plan? The plan is simple. Don't die, repeated one of the hunters. Grigory. Let's consider the worst-case scenario. Also known as the most likely scenario, Galarov said. There's a whole pack of wolves around the slaughterhouse. We've got odorous smoke bombs. We'll take the beast by surprise. We'll kill them all before they even know what hit them. Then we'll go into the building, find the she-wolf, and take her out fast. The worst-case scenario is that it kills us all, Yuri muttered. But if we're really stuck, we have plan B, said Galarov. There was a small suitcase on the ground between his feet, and he gave it a solemn pat. When are you going to tell me what you promised? As soon as the she-wolf is dead, not before, the investigator interjected, giving me a cold look. Take my advice. Forget about everything else for now. If we aren't focused, if we don't work together, nobody will be coming home. Every man is responsible for the rest of the squad. Are we clear? We're clear. Excellent. I don't have any more questions. Then let's get started, Galarov said with a nod, jumping to his feet. Folks, no more chit-chat. We're moving out. The hunters scrambled to get ready. Do me a favor, would you, Galarov muttered, drawing me off to one side. I haven't seen Nikita in over an hour. Go get him. He should be on the other side of the highway. I'd go myself, but he won't talk to me. Why? He probably blames me for Kirill's death, his stepfather. Galarov sighed. And then I was the one who took him away from Kiev and stopped him getting his revenge on the wolves. Will you do it? Okay, I'll find him. It wasn't difficult to find the guy. Nikita was sitting on a large stump, carving something out of a lump of tree bark. He showed no reaction to my arrival and just continued carving. Galarov sent you. He asked me point blank when I got closer. He asked me to come get you. He's worried. Nikita frowned, but said nothing. Galarov thinks that you blame him for the death of your stepdad. That's none of your business. Who are you anyway? Nikita replied with irritation. If Galarov wants something from me, he can come himself. He started thinking, still wielding the knife. I'll finish up and come back. Listen, I'm really sorry. Take your heartfelt condolences and shove 'em you know where, Nikita said, frowning. All of you. I'm sick of it. I suddenly remembered Nikita and Kev shooting the wolf with tears in his eyes. Maybe you can tell me what's bothering you. You know I'm a stranger, but I'll be gone soon. It will make you feel better to talk. Give it a try. Tried to sound persuasive, but Nikita gave no indication that he even heard my request. He gave the impression of being entirely focused on his carving. He was waiting for me to give up and leave him in peace. Tell me, do you really blame Galarov for what happened to Kev? Hey, do you really think I want to talk about this with a complete stranger? Nikita snapped, dropping the knife and giving me a surly, challenging look. Listen, I don't mess with your business, pal, and you stay out of mine. I'll say it again. If Galarov wants to chat, he can come himself, and not send God knows who. Pretty knife. Pretty, Nikita sighed. My stepdad brought it back from Europe when he was even younger than I am now. He had it with him everywhere he went, you know. He slept with it under his pillow. Even kept it when he went for a swim. It always made me laugh. One time I hid the knife as a joke, and my stepdad beat me bloody. He stuck the blade in a piece of wood and said, when your rifle misfires, when your grenade doesn't go off, when your friend runs, all you'll have left is your knife. This thing saved his life 3 times. Who taught you how to carve so well? My stepdad. You know, when my mom died a long time ago, I was still in school. My stepdad made me a wooden figurine of my mom dancing. She was a ballerina, and that's how I always remember her, dancing. And he told me that when he was in the Navy, he made carvings of his parents, so he didn't miss them as much. But the figurine itself doesn't matter. It's the feeling you put into it as you carve it. Nikita turned the grinning wolf head in his hands. It didn't have eyes, Nikita laughed. You can carve something with love or hatred, whichever fits. Nikita hesitated at last. He took the knife away and rubbed his temples. Back in Kev, my stepdad had run out of cartridges, and he killed the wolf with his knife. But then, Nikita's throat caught. Another beast attacked him from behind and bit his hand off. Ironic, right? He had a knife, but no hand to wield it. The wolf didn't even finish him off. It was going for Galarov, but my stepdad grabbed it with his arms and held it back. The wolf tore at him, but he held on until fully bled out. If Seva had arrived 30 seconds later, the wolf would have got Galarov too. I'm sorry about how it turned out, but what did Galarov do wrong? He almost died too. Yeah, there was nothing he could have done. Nikita closed his eyes. All he had was the Makarov, and it's like a flea bite to those black wolves. I don't know if he'd do what my stepdad did for him, but he's not to blame for his death. The blame lies elsewhere. Another. Who? Me. Nikita turned the carving in his hands, and then he slashed at it with the knife. We shot one beast. The wolf was going to run away. My stepdad yelled for me to stop, but all I cared about was showing him that I was a tough guy too, and that I could handle a wolf one-on-one and injured to boot. I left the others far behind and chased after it, and what I had on me was an early assault rifle with a full magazine. I caught up with it and finished it off. But then when I came back to the others, I saw my stepdad's body. Now it's my turn to say something. I said, watching the horizon, when I was traveling to Kev, I met a good guy. He thought I was a bandit, so he tied me up and was planning to torture me. But then a wolf attacked him. A wolf that had followed me all the way from Byron-esque. It bit off the guy's head. Do you think I'm responsible for this man's death? That's a completely different situation. Am I responsible? I repeated more forcefully. No, I don't think you're responsible, Nikita replied, and suddenly his face reddened. But you know what? Even though nobody would say you were to blame, you still know that it was your fault. You know that you got the man's blood on your hands. But it had nothing to do with me, and you could you have done something? Don't you get it? It doesn't matter. Whether you could have done something or not, you're still responsible. I don't believe you. I don't believe that you sleep soundly at night after that. I didn't know what to say to him. Time to go, Nikita stood up. We'll kill these monsters, every last one of them. And maybe it won't hurt so much. All right, let's go. The small squad, led by Galarov and Yuri, was already waiting for us. When he saw Nikita, the investigator gave me a thumbs up, but I was lost in my own thoughts and didn't respond. Nikita's words were playing on my mind. I remember the old Hunter and Gala and Sasha, too. When all was said and done, I was solely responsible for what happened to them. When a person dies, the responsibility for their death falls on you. There's no such thing as there was nothing I could do, especially if the person was someone you loved. Keep going. We finished our march about 300 meters from our destination. The wind hadn't changed. There had been no incidents on the road. Galarov sent the scouts up ahead. They came back with 15 minutes. After consoling Yuri about something, Galarov called me over. Listen carefully. There are 9 wolves near the slaughterhouse. 4 to the east, they're sleeping, and 5 to the south. They're up and alert. We'll take the brutes by surprise, he continued. We're splitting the squad into 2 groups. We'll attack simultaneously. The first group will throw smoke bombs at the 4 sleepers from behind cover and make Swiss cheese of them. The other group will go around the 5 wolves from downwind, take up their positions, open fire on the signal, and decide if you're going in the first group or the second group, Galarov said. The first group is the less risky choice. The wolves will be asleep. But you're needed more in the second group. You're an old hand at this, and our guys aren't even professional hunters. For some reason, this is the first time they've ever held a gun. And they're afraid, of course, although, he added, you shouldn't underestimate the sleeping wolves. You're a little paranoid, Pavel. I've always said it. Yuri chuckled. But seriously, why the hell are we splitting the squad? We can deal with the sleeping wolves in one go, and then all go up against the group of 5. If that's not complicated, your clever strategizing isn't needed here. So what's your decision? Said the former investigator, turning to me. I'll go against the second group, against the wolves that are awake. Makes sense, Galarov praised. Yuri thought for a moment, but then he nodded too. It was settled. The operation begun. Trying to move soundlessly, we approached the squat slaughterhouse building. Yuri and another 5 hunters ran behind the truck. Each man took a smoke bomb. The wolves were sleeping very close by on the other side of the truck. After confirming that everything was going to plan, I, Galarov, Nikita, and other 4 hunters advanced south through the undergrowth. We cut a wide berth to avoid alerting the 5 wolves before we were ready. At last, we took up our positions. We aimed, and just as the sound of the first shot from the east reached us, we opened fire. Fortunately, the firing distance proved too great for most of my comrades. I killed 1 wolf, but the others only had minor injuries and started running at us. How could you miss? Galarov shouted. Even though they completed the training, the country folk hadn't turned into sharp shooters overnight. But things improved after that. The wolves were running in a straight, strung-out line, and they went down one after the other under the heavy fire of the 3 assault rifles. I finished off 1, Galarov got the second, and the third was writhing in agony. Yes, I said, excellent work, boys, Galarov said, encouraging the others. The last wolf seemed to come out of nowhere. It sank its teeth into one guy's throat. A second later, and it had knocked Nikita to the ground. Galarov ran to help him and whacked the beast with the butt of his rifle. The wolf leapt off Nikita with a snarl and tore into Galarov's stomach. They both went down. We ran right up to the beast and shot it several times in the head. The wolf dropped dead. Run over there. When we reached the truck, it was already over. The 4 wolves were dead, but Yuri and one other hunter were the only survivors from the group. Yuri ran across the blood-stained ground in a frenzied fury. I told him, he roared, catching sight of us. Don't leave them wounded. Finish them off. Finish them immediately. They did everything they could, Yuri, said one of the hunters. Don't blame them. They're not soldiers. Yuri just clenched his teeth. The battle was over. We had lost 5 men, and another, the 6th, was at death's door. Pavel Galarov. Go back to him. The former investigator raised his eyes to mine and tried to smile. The layer of grime and blood on his face made the smile look eerie. Sorry, pal, but you'll have to get Zate said to tell you what you want to know. If you survive this hunt, of course. Nikita walked up to us. Yuri was with him. One look at the injured man told him all he needed to know. There was no hope. Pavel, damn, was all he could get out. It's over for me, Yuri. Worry about the other ones who are injured, and don't waste them. You'll have to finish the mission. Finish the mission, Yuri paled. Who's going to finish it? We've lost too many already. We're bandaging up the wounded and going back to Jorinichi. Yuri, he's right. If we don't leave now, all these people will have died for nothing. While we have time to regroup, wolves will descend on this place from all over. We need to kill the she-wolf right now. You're right, the dying man whispered gratefully. Yuri, you can mourn later. Tell the boys to get ready. Distribute the guns. Gather up all the cartridges that are left. Pavel, but what if, in the slaughterhouse, the she-wolf isn't alone? Yuri interrupted him, his voice tinged with anger. But what if there are more wolves? You'll manage. You'll have to. You need to put an end to this. If you let them breed freely, they'll massacre the whole village and revenge. Keep going. Pavel, no, you can't, Yuri replied. I can't. Enough, Gavroli said. He closed his eyes, but then he looked at me. Now you're in command. In my place, Yuri, Nikita, do what he says. What? Yuri gasped. Pavel, are you serious? Gavrilov didn't respond. Yuri scowled at me, threw up his hands, and walked away. Galarov straightened himself to speak again, but the life was already leaving his body. Nikita, forgive me. Those were his last words. Forgive me, he saved me, Nikita said, breaking his grim silence. He saved me even though he knew the wolf would kill him. Why did he do that? He's worth more to the squad than I am. He must have really felt guilty about you. But maybe, I added, he wanted to fulfill his debt to your stepfather. Who saved him? Kev? I don't know. All I know is that he was a good man. May his soul rest in peace. Nikita looked at me in pain. I know that he died because of me, just like my stepdad, and I have to live with that. I had no idea how to help him. Go back to the injured. Against all expectations, Yuri fulfilled every one of Galarov's orders. Luckily, no one was seriously injured among the survivors, but everyone was wounded in one way or another. The massively depleted squad was waiting for me in Nikita. Yuri was conversing in whispers with another hunter, Gregory. We await your command, he said coolly when he saw me. Just remember that you're responsible for all of us now, for every one of us. And if anything goes wrong, it'll be on you. Yuri, shut it, Nikita snapped at him. We all looked at the kid in surprise. An oppressive silence hung in the air. What's that? I asked, hoping to defuse the situation, pointing at the small suitcase behind Yuri. I had already seen the case in Galarov's hands. Plan B. If our guns aren't enough to take down the she-wolf, just so you know, we don't have much ammo left. We couldn't get inside the building via the main entrance. That part of the structure had collapsed, but the meat loading gate was blocked off too. Even after we'd broken the lock, the hinges just wouldn't budge. There's another way in, one of the hunters spoke up. The slaughter corridor. That's where the livestock would go down before, go towards the slaughter corridor. There was nothing else to do, and we went around the slaughterhouse from the other side and entered the dark, tapering a tunnel one after another. I used to work here at the exit, a hunter whispered grimly. I never thought that one day it would be me walking toward the light. The hair on my arm stood up, and I don't think I was the only one. Despite the bad feeling in my gut, we made it through the slaughter corridor with no problems. We emerged into a spacious room with a sticky, soiled floor and dirty, reddish-brown walls. Metal granal structures gleamed along the walls, and terrifying hooks dangled above them. Next to the platform we were standing on, slaughtering tools had been abandoned haphazardly, and further on we saw an entire mound of bones with a human skull among them. Keep going, we don't have much time, I spurred the hunters on. We were surrounded by gloom and silence. Some solitary shafts of light filtered through the few tiny windows. The slaughterhouse seemed to be completely deserted. But when we reached the room that held the vats for bleeding the slaughtered animals, Nikita stopped. Shh, do you hear that? Listen closely. Somewhere in the corner, drops of water were beating rhythmically off the concrete floor. From the wide archway up ahead, a barely audible scrape reached our ears. What's past the archway? I asked the former butcher. The excretion room, where they remove the entrails and split the carcasses. Past that is the old cold storage. The she-wolf is probably somewhere around there. There's no guarantee it'll be alone. This every certain room, is it big? Long and narrow, the butcher replied. We'll have to go in a single file, and there's no windows at all. Turn on your lights, I ordered the rest. Have your weapons ready. I'm going to take the wristman's position and go through the archway first. It truly was pitch black beyond the archway. Our flashlights revealed sharpened hooks below the ceiling, huge steel cabinets, pipes snaking across the floor, platforms, vats, and strange, evil-looking machinery I didn't know the name of. The walls and floor were dark with dried blood stains. Oh God, Gregory whispered. We stopped in our tracks. Keep going. The scene before us was the stuff of nightmares. Gnawed corpses lay along the walls. They were fresh. Rot hadn't even set in. Some only had the head intact below the chin. The spinal column gleamed white in the gloom. That's Misha Andre. Gregory's voice wavered traitorously. Sergei Chernyshov. These are our guys. They were so close, and his words were drowned out by a terrible growl. Turn around. I just in time had to see the yellow weeping blisters on a ragged muzzle, and then the wolf launched itself into the air. I jerked backwards. The behemoth snapped its teeth, and the heavy body hit my chest with such force that I slammed into the wall. I slid down the wall to the ground. Past the ringing in my ears, I could hear somebody's blood-curdling scream. Almost immediately cut off the sound of gunfire. A terrifying dark muzzle appeared in front of my face. Its hellish jaws began to open. Fractured ribs and laceration. Close by, the butcher let out a furious roar, which was followed by a burst of gunfire. The wolf's head jerked to the side and disappeared. Get up and raise your weapon. There was a buzzing in my skull. The scene before me blurred and bled like a watercolor, but I forced myself to my feet. A gun was nearby. I had almost reached it when I heard a repulsive sound. A few paces from me, the filthy beast was ravenously tearing strips of flesh off from the butcher's headless body, just like back in the meadow. No, this time would be different. This time I wouldn't run away. Kill the wolf. Sucking air through my clenched teeth, I started moving towards and opened fire on the beast. The black wolf died right on top of its last victim. Nikita, Yuri, Grigory, and I were the only survivors out of the whole squad. Sure, if I'd taken the coward's way out and not led the squad, our losses would have been even worse, but still. Protecting their mother, the wolves fought to the last drop of blood, and the she-wolf wasn't in the evisceration room at all, alive or dead. It got away. It was all for nothing. Nikita gripped his head in a powerless rage. Wait, look. I pointed at the archway leading to the cold storage. In the beam of my flashlight, we all saw black wolf cub that quickly darted back into the darkness. It wouldn't leave the cubs just like that, I said, trying to inject some confidence back into my voice. That means it's in the cold storage. The back gate is locked. It's trapped. As if to confirm my words, a piercing whine came from the archway. Let's go kill it, now. Hang back, Yuri said, shaking his head. He shoved me his gun. I'm almost out. Check the rest. Already. They're out too. No more ammo. Double-barrel shotguns? Are you really willing to go up against the she-wolf with a double-barrel shotgun? There are only 4 of us. Where's Galarov's suitcase? Nikita asked suddenly. His plan B. The suitcase was lying near the former butcher's body. Bring the suitcase and open it. It's a bulletproof vest, Grigory said in surprise. How's that going to help us? No, it's not a bulletproof vest, Yuri said grimly. It's packed with plastic explosives. Ever heard of Japanese kamikaze in World War II? That's not an option. Grigory blanched and his voice trembled. There's got to be another way. Like what? Going up against a mutant she-wolf with shotguns? She's protecting her young. She'll rip us apart in seconds. Just send me in there. I don't see any alternative. Somebody is going to have to sacrifice themselves. Put on the vest, go into the cold storage, and when the she-wolf is nearby, pull the cord. Commander, Yuri turned to me. It's up to you to decide who goes. I didn't know what to say. Sure, before now my decisions had been life and death consequences for these men, but now I had to knowingly send one to his death. The thought of the decapitated hunter again. Back then, I didn't have a choice. Then I thought of Pavel Galarov, the butcher, and the others who had died during the hunt. I had made a choice, but I could only guess at the consequences of it. But this was completely different. Yuri, Grigory, Nikita, or me, one of us had to die. I'm going. The hunters looked at each other. I'm going, Nikita said suddenly, reaching for the vest. Nikita, listen. I thought you understood me. Nikita got my face, breathing heavily. You told me all that stuff about the hunter that got his head bitten off. No, I know what that weighs on you, but there was nothing you could have done. But my stepdad and Galarov, they died because of me. Get it? Because of me. So I have more right to do this. And that's how you want to get rid of your guilt. I want to repay my debt. Sorry, buddy, I'm the commander and that's my decision. Fine, you're in command, Nikita said, shrugging and turning away. Yuri helped me get the vest on. I'll pull the cord only when we're right up and close to the beast. Not a second before, he warned me. Then he looked in my eyes. Thank you on behalf of us all. Grigory didn't say anything. He just nodded. Nikita was looking away. Go into the cord storage section. Wait, I heard someone call. As I was already approaching the yawning gloom of the archway, I looked around and saw Nikita sprinting towards me. What's the matter? I stopped and turned to the kid. The cord, it's tangled. Nikita panted, and he pointed down at the vest. I looked down at the cord in confusion, and then I felt like I'd been hit on the head with a hammer. The world rocked around me, and everything went dark. Let me guess, he took the vest, right? I was only conscious for a short while, seemingly. I opened my eyes to the painful glare of a flashlight. Lie back, he got you good. It was Yuri's mournful voice. Then I realized that I wasn't wearing the vest anymore. I had figured it all out. Why didn't you stop him? He told us not to go near, or else he would detonate it right there. He's already over there. Yeah. We didn't have to wait long. Within 10 seconds, the terrible whining behind the archway had increased, and a boom came from the cold storage section, making the ground quake beneath our feet. For a second, I thought the ceiling was about to cave in, but the shaking stopped. Is it done? Grigory asked in a whisper. It's done, Yuri said. Nothing. Nikita did it. Let's move out. Grigory said in relief. He sighed, stood up. And then the she-wolf appeared from the midnight blue archway. The creature standing before us in the faint, flickering beams of the flashlights bore only a vague resemblance to an ordinary wolf. The she-wolf didn't have fur or hair. Its grotesque, swollen body was entirely covered in horrific swellings and blisters that were weeping pus, and a horrible yellow liquid dripped from its maw and eyes. The she-wolf was simply massive, much larger than any of her cubs. Its entire right side, the muscles, ribs, and internal organs, had been blown completely open by the explosion. It dragged its back leg behind it, whining horribly, leaving a trail of blood and slime. But despite all of its injuries, it still looked capable of defending itself. It's the devil himself, Grigory whispered. Fight. If you would have just sent me in from the beginning, all of this could have been avoided. But no. It's okay. I'm just gonna. I'll only get 3 action points. Okay, I'll hit it with a shotgun first. And turn. Good job, guys. Thanks. The monster clung onto life till the very end. When the assault rifles were out of ammunition, Grigory and Yuri reached for the shotguns, but the she-wolf just whined, trying to bite us, refusing to die. Only when we had it turned the enemy into a shapeless, bloody mass did its legs give way. This real life nightmare, a monster wrought by radiation, wrapped its last breath. I left the man in the evisceration area and spread the beam of my flashlight across the cold storage. As I'd hoped, the whole litter of wolf cubs, just short of a dozen, had perished in the explosion. Now we really could get out of here. Thank you for the grenade and the gun. I appreciate it. The she-wolf was dead, but we had to pay a high price for her life. Emerging from the slaughterhouse, I saw the bodies of Galarov and the others. They needed to be buried, but there were so few of us, and the surviving wolves could appear at any minute. An hour later, we were already heading back to Jorinichi. A giant pyre burned behind us, devouring the bodies of the brave warriors who'd given their lives for their family and friends. Oh, that's it? Just the one shotgun shell, a shotgun, and a grenade. Okay. I don't think that there was an option just to send meme. Regardless of what option I picked, I still think that they would have the three people, the four or five people who did die. There was no option for that. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Zaitsev, let's speak to you. Searching for truth. The former director of the Institute of Virology dozed in the same armchair as last time. I woke him up and sat down on the chair next to him. Zaitsev looked at me groggily. Then I held out the she-wolf's fang to him. What's this? That was our agreement. I held up my end. The she-wolf is dead. Now it's your turn. Zaitsev turned the fang in his hands and looked at me. He seemed a little uneasy. Where's Pavel? The wolf's got Gavrilov, so I'm listening. All right, as you wish. Remind me, what did you want to know? Tell me about Nestorov and the other scientists who worked with him, and all the rest of it. The director nodded, removing his glasses, and began wiping them methodically with a rag. He cleaned them for several long minutes. Go ahead, don't be shy. What do you want me to say? Gregory Nestorov was nationally renowned scientist, the pride of our institute. We worked successfully with him, Kulik and Shashkov for many years. Karbyshev transferred to us from Leningrad. Belsky, the youngest in the team, joined later at the end of '83. What were they working on? I could explain, but you still won't understand. Try to make me understand. Molecular genetics. They were studying the proteins and genes of the most widespread viruses, an utterly harmless endeavor, as long as you don't cross the line, of course. Nestorov crossed it. He began experimenting with mutations. He got Kulik and Kabrashev involved in it. Next. They hid their work from the others. I suspected that they weren't spending their evenings in the lab just to drink tea, but I chose not to stick my nose in it, but then I had to. What happened? Belsky found Nestorov's hidden cache. He dragged it out and brought me Nestorov's notebook and a voice recording. At first, I couldn't even believe it, but this was his handwriting and his voice. Nestorov and his pals were developing a new plague. No, not a plague. This virus, R17, was far more dangerous than Yersinia pestis, and what's more, it was custom made to order for the CIA. Nestorov had created a new biological weapon for our enemy. So what did you do? I didn't have a choice. We reported them to the authorities, all three of them. Beletsky and Shashkov signed the statement too. The case moved quickly. Nestorov, Kulik, and Karbyshev were arrested. Then we were visited by men from the KGB. They questioned us and searched the whole institute. They took everything they could out of Nestorov's lab, even the sign on the door. They destroyed all of his biomaterial. The hearing was held behind closed doors, but I was allowed to stay as a witness. It happened quickly. The evidence was overwhelming, and Karbyshev made a full confession, Article 64, betrayal of the motherland. They were taken straight from the courtroom to face the firing squad, but the virus was still used. Alas, yes, it seems that Nestorov had already managed to hand over the contaminated culture to the CIA. On August 17, 1984, enemy agents dispersed R-17 into the air in various cities using special spray cans. That was day R. Yes, that's how the pandemic started, wiping out most of the population of the USSR. Now are you satisfied? No. There's something else. How did the nuclear war start? The director looks at me in confusion, then nods again and starts cleaning his glasses. I'm waiting. All right, but it's still very straightforward. Clearly, the American intelligence agencies overestimated the effectiveness of the little killer R-17, or perhaps they underestimated it. They thought it would leave the people of the great nation of Soviets near extinction, out of their wits and weakened by disease, and they would kill off any survivors themselves. Correct. And after spilling a little blood, they would have access to the endless rich lands of our motherland. R-17 betrayed them. The epidemic spread too slowly. Its incubation period was too long, and too many people were immune. And already by October, tens and hundreds of thousands of people were thronging towards the USSR's borders to flee from the dying country. Of course, and every one of them was infected. Our neighbors closed their borders. They introduced martial law, assembled their troops, and shot refugees dead in their thousands. But there were too many of them. There were. For every person they killed, two more arrived. And the border is vast, so people with enough cunning or desperation would find a way through. And when the first outbreaks of the epidemic happened in China, Mongolia, Turkey, Poland, and Finland, it was decided that extreme measures must be taken. A secret session of the Nuclear Club was held at the end of October, and the motion to cleanse the infected territory was passed. They all used the firepower they had. Even villages were subject to disinfection by bomb. But they had miscalculated again. The USSR fought back. Yes, we launched our entire arsenal immediately on all targets. Even though it was doomed, the country didn't want to die. The wave of infected refugees capitalized on the chaos and overwhelmed the Allies' armies. And that's how R-17 successfully spread to the rest of the world. And there was nothing anyone could do. Zaitsev laughed bitterly. No, but it was every nation for itself at that point. The USA started bombing Europe. India attacked China. Deep-rooted conflicts flared up. It was as if the whole world had gone mad. The only place spared was Antarctica. But as always, mankind managed to make things even worse. Does that mean there's nothing left on the other continents either? Is the whole world a wasteland? To be honest, I don't know. Excuse me, young man, but I've talked too long. It's time for me to take my pills. Well, thank you for talking to me. And that is it. I had competing versions in my head of how it all could have happened, but the director's account set everything in place. The final gaps had been filled. Would the truth lead to some kind of epiphany for me personally? Unlikely. Was I going to hate the people who had destroyed all civilization with their own hands and want to exact my revenge? No. I was too weary for powerful emotions like that. The only thing I felt was quiet sorrow. Only one question remained. How was I going to tell Svetlana that the person responsible for it all was her father? There's nothing holding me in Kiev anymore. Time to go back to Trevor and face Svetlana. And that I will be doing in the next video. I will see you guys in the next one.